going on, everyone? My name is Justin, or Zippin, whatever you want to call me, and today we're going to be ranking every single perk here in Call of Duty Zombies. Now we're going to be doing World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, and Cold War. We're actually going to skip Black Ops 4 for this video, and it's simply because there are so many perks in that game, and they're not a part of like the original perk system, so I'm just going to exclude those perks from this video. And plus, a lot of the perks in that game are also in these games as well. And if you guys want me to do a Black Ops 4 perk ranking video, let me know in the comments below. But I just feel like the perks in that game just aren't that memorable. Most people don't even know what they are, and I don't even know what they are either. So we're just going to skip that and go right into the perks that everybody knows. And sorry for the lack of uploads. Lately I haven't uploaded in about a week, and I could make excuses like
I'm hot, my sugar's low, somebody drank all my Pepsis, I gotta drink diet fucking Pepsi, and I don't want to play Call of Duty, and my feet hurt, and all my fingers are sore.
But, you know, I've just been lazy. Now let's just get right into the video. Now there are actually 16 perks that we're going to rank here in this video, and coming in at number 16 has to be Who's Who from Die Rise. This has to be everybody's least favorite perk on every one of these videos that have been made. On every ranking every perk video, this has to be like the worst one on every single list. This perk is retarded, okay? It's actually not that bad of an idea, but the issue is that it's only on one map, and it's on the worst map that it could possibly be featured on ever, which is Die Rise, which is a map that cuts you off from specific areas of the map depending on what part of the map that you're in. I have been teleported to different buildings on Die Rise that I can't even access once I go to Who's Who mode. It's so stupid, and it's just so dumb, right? You spawn in with a Colt, as you can see here. Terrible gun, terrible gun. Now, round 4, okay, it's not that bad, okay? Round 4, you can handle it. But on round 38, just forget about it. It's not going to happen. And if you don't revive your player, then you just lose everything, and you have your pistol again. So it's so stupid, and honestly, it would have been better if it was on other maps in the game, but sadly, it was on debatably the worst map ever made, which is Die Rise, and because of that, this perk goes in the number 16 spot. And coming in at number 15, we have Tombstone from Black Ops 2. Not Tombstone from Cold War, but Tombstone from Black Ops 2. This perk sucks. Okay, let me tell you why. It was only featured on 2 maps in the entire game, that being Town and Transit. Only one of these maps is the perk even remotely useful, and it's Town because the map is small. Try using Tombstone on Transit. Try it. Try it. It's not going to work, okay? Because you're going to spawn a million years away from your Tombstone. There's no point in even using it. Now, when you play on Town, it's actually pretty freaking good because you can kill yourself in the Tombstone, and you can actually get 6 perks to use, which is pretty good. And now, some people say it's a 6-perk glitch. I think it's just a part of the game. But yeah, you can get 6 perks by using Tombstone while playing on Town, and one of those 6 perks is Tombstone, in fact. Now, Tombstone is not good, in my opinion. It's not practical, and it's because why would you use a perk slot on a perk that is going to help you after you die when you could just use something that's going to prevent you from dying? It's never made that much sense to me, and for that reason I'm going to put it here at number 15. Now, coming in at the number 14 spot, we have a perk that doesn't necessarily hurt you. It just seems kind of pointless, and that is Elementat Pop, one of the newest perks added in Call of Duty Zombies. I don't think it's that good, and this is the reason why. Why would I purchase a perk that gives me random elemental upgrades when I could just purchase an elemental upgrade from the Pack-a-Punch machine like Deadwire or something that is very consistent, rather than get something that's just completely random? You know, I think that there are some upgrades that are better than others, so why would I not just get the one good upgrade instead of buying a perk which gives me random ones? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, like why it's even in the game to begin with. And I mean, it's not that it hurts you, it just seems kind of unnecessary, and it kind of like a waste of points in my opinion, especially with the terrible point system in Cold War Zombies, and with the terrible perk system where the perks increase in value as you purchase them. It just seems as if there's not really any point to using this, and I mean, for that reason, it's at number 14. Now, coming in at number 13, we have Deadshot Daiquiri. Now, I know that Deadshot Daiquiri is in Cold War, and it's really good in that game, but we're mainly going to be focusing on the other versions of Deadshot Daiquiri, which is Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. It's not that great, if I'm being honest, okay? The only map I ever buy this perk on is Moon, simply because it's right there, and it's easy to get, and that's really it. That's the only map I ever buy Deadshot on is on Moon. and it just doesn't serve a purpose. Again, if you play PC, there's no point. All it does is increase your hipfire accuracy, which is completely useless. And if you're playing on console where you have aim assist, yeah, it locks onto their head, but all you have to do is look up a little bit more. That's all you got to do. Now, yes, it is nice to have. All it does is help you. It doesn't harm you in any way. But again, it just seems a little bit pointless to have in the game. Now, the Cold War version is a lot better, but again, that doesn't help that much. It doesn't help its case that much. Deadshot has always been sort of that like kind of perk that you don't really need, but it's nice to have, but you're only going to use it if you have like a perkaholic or something, or you get it as a free perk. But other than that, there's no real point to getting this perk at all, so that's why it comes in at number 13. And in at number 12, we have Double Tap 1. I have to clarify, this is Double Tap 1, not Double Tap 2, and Double Tap is pretty okay, being honest. Okay, in a game like Black Ops 1 and World at War, there are some guns that it actually works really well with, that being the MP40, the HK21, the ray gun, the bar, and that's about it. Those 4 guns are amazing with Double Tap 1, but that's about it. Everything else can do just fine without it. I will say that it is a game changer on those slower fire rate guns, especially the ray gun, but other than that, that's it. That's it. There's no real point to using it. It doesn't give you double damage. It just increases your fire rate by, I believe, 33%, I believe is the number. And yeah, it's not cool, but it's not bad either. So, I mean, you can get it if you want to, but there is probably going to be something that is more useful to you than Double Tap 1, so you might as well get that perk instead. In fact, Double Tap 1 was deemed to be so useless that it wasn't even on the map to purchase on Ascension. You can't even get Double Tap on Ascension at all. Like, at all. I believe maybe you can if it's from the free perk from the monkeys, but that's it. So a lot of people just sort of found this perk useless, and I guess that's why they gave it an upgrade in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, of course. But yeah, that's why Double Tap comes in at number 12. And coming in at number 11, we have Tombstone from Cold War, a much better upgrade from the version that we saw in Black Ops 2, but again, it's still the same idea, which is a perk that's going to help you after you die, instead of a perk that's going to prevent you from dying. Now, there is no perk cap in Cold War, which again makes it a lot better, and the upgraded variants of Tombstone are a lot better as well. And in fact, this perk should have just been called Who's Who, because that's pretty much what it is. Now again, this is an early round, so it isn't that hard for me to revive myself, but in a later round, it is a nightmare. Now you do get to spawn in with your weapons and stuff again, which is really nice, but come on, it's Tombstone. Who's Who, it's like a combination of both, combination of the 2 bottom perks on this list. It's really not that great, okay, to be honest. And again, it's only on 2 maps in the game so far, which is Firebase Z and D Machine. That's it. So for that reason, I'm going to put it here at number 11. Not bad, but not great. And coming in at number 10, we have Electric Cherry from Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. Again, we're not doing Black Ops 4, so we're not going to include that version of the Electric Cherry perk. Now, Electric Cherry is a perk that is good on Mob of the Dead, and that's about it. Yes, it's a nice little luxury to have when you're playing Horizon Drac or Garage Provy or whatever the map is you're playing, but it's not that amazing, to be honest. It's good on Mob of the Dead because the map is close quarters, and I feel like it's better in Black Ops 2 anyway, but on Origins, it's a bit more open, not necessarily useful or that useful enough to replace one of your main perk slots that you need on Origins. But yeah, in Black Ops 3, you're pretty much only going to get Electric Cherry because you have a perkaholic or you have a free perk spawned in or something like that. That's about the only reason that you're going to be using Electric Cherry in any other scenario besides playing Mob of the Dead. And for that reason, I'm going to put it here at number 10. Again, it's a perk that isn't necessarily bad, but it's not great either. And coming in at number 9, we have Mule Kick, a perk that I've gotten a lot more respect for lately as I've been playing the older zombie games, and honestly, it's not that bad. Okay, in Black Ops 3, it's annoying because all the guns are pretty good in that game, and you have, you know, pack-punch upgrades and stuff like that, like Dead Wire. But in the older games where the guns have no ammo at Black Ops 1, Mule Kick isn't that bad, okay? It gives you an extra gun with ammo in it. It works. Again, the worst part about it is when you go down and you lose your third gun. That is the worst thing ever. And Mule Kick is the most expensive perk, I believe, or it's tied with it at 4,000 points. An ungodly amount of points for this type of perk. It should be 2,000. Honestly, if Mule Kick is only 2,000 points, I would buy it all the time. But because of the fact that it's expensive, Nah, dog, I don't need that shit all the time, but sometimes it's pretty nice, especially on maps where you can camp like Buried. It's phenomenal. It's one of the best perks on Buried, simply because it's a good perk to camp with. The primary use of Mule Kich is to have more ammo. That's really it, which is really good on the older games, like I said before, where a lot of your perk options are pretty limited, like Peanut or Totem, where you only have 5 perk choices, and one of them happens to be Mule Kich, which makes it one of the better perk options to get in the map. So yeah, Mule Kich comes in at number 9. And coming in at number 8, we're going to have a pick that is going to annoy some people, and that is Speed Cola. I'm going to put Speed Cola at number 8, and here's why. I think Speed Cola used to be probably the second best perk in Zombies when there were only 4 to choose from, but ever since they've added more and more perks, this perk has sort of became a bit more, not as important, okay? Not useless, but just not as important. Now, on maps where you can camp, you know, Speed Cola is amazing, okay? I'm not gonna lie. Speed Cola is one of the best perks in the game for a camping map like the Giant, Derice, maybe Verruct when you camp at the traps. Something like that, Speed Cola is very good, and it's very good when you're using like an LMG or something like that. But for the most part, you're going to be training. If you're going for a high round, you're going to be training, or if you're playing with multiple people, you're probably going to be running around doing stuff, and you don't necessarily need Speed Cola as much as you probably think. Now, you do have fast mags in a lot of the newer games as well, but that's besides the point. I'm going to say Speed Cola is a luxury to have, but it's not completely necessary for your survival. I think there's much better perks out there that are necessary to help you survive indefinitely, rather than just help you reload faster. And coming in at number 7, we have one of the funnest perks to use in Call of Duty Zombies, and that is PhD Flopper. This perk is awesome. Okay, now it is only in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, and it makes sense because you can only flop in those games, you can't slide. And I will say that the best part about this perk, it has to be the explosive damage immunity. It's amazing. You're completely immune to all explosive damage from the ray gun, Mustang and Sally, China Lake. Anything that blows up in your face, you're completely immune to. Now, the only map that this is not really good on is Origins, but every Black Ops 1 map, this perk is just incredible on. And Cell Block Grief, if y'all ever played that as well, it's amazing on that map as well. You have the PhD Flop, immune to explosive damage, and you're immune to fall damage as well. So if you accidentally step on one of those lunar launch pad things on Moon, you're fine. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna die by falling off of something, which is one of the most annoying things in Zombies ever, is when you die by falling off of something. And I gotta say, man, PhD, it's not exceptionally great. It's not going to help you make it to extremely high rounds or anything, but if you're just playing a fun public match lobby, something like that, playing with your friends, and you get Mustang and Sally and PhD, it's pretty fun to use. I'm going to put it in at number 7. And coming in at number 6, we have the most underrated perk in Zombies of all time, and that has to be Vulture Aid. Sadly, it was only on one map, that being Buried, which is a pretty easy map in itself. But I will say that this perk is amazing for one reason and one reason only, and it is because of this that's happening right now on screen. The green mist, which makes the zombies run away from you. It's so overpowered. It's like an infinite in plain sight, infinite idle eyes, gobble gum, whatever it is you want to call it. Now, this perk does have some other features as well. It gives you the ability to see perks through walls, see the mystery box through walls, so it's easier to spot things on the map, like you can see right here. And it also allows you to pick up ammunition, small amounts, like maybe 2 or 3 bullets at a time, and maybe 5 to 10 points at a time off the ground, but these little golden drops that spawn on the ground. Now, that isn't that useful, I'll say. Maybe it's good for like the ray gun or something, or it's a really good gun, but that kind of stuff isn't really that noticeable. You're pretty much just picking up pocket change, and you're picking up maybe a few spare bullets or whatever, and the ability to see through walls isn't that incredible. So the perk really comes down to the amazing ability of the green mist. That thing is so overpowered. You stand in the green mist, you're completely fine. You're completely immune. It lasts like 10 seconds. It's unbelievably overpowered. And I'm going to say that Vulture Aid is probably the most underrated perk in Zombies, and this should have been in war maps, definitely. And coming in at number 5, we have Quick Revive. This perk is completely essential to your survival when you play Zombies. This thing is amazing. So solo, it keeps you up from getting downed. It's the best perk in the game in that sense. And on public match co-op, Quick Revive is really, really good. As you can see right here, I buy Quick Revive, and I'm going to revive these 2 idiots that were playing with me in a public match. And I had to revive them many, many, many times throughout this game. And I will say that if you're going to play public match in any scenario, you need to have Quick Revive on at all times. And if you're going to play solo, you got to have it on as well because it keeps you up from going down. Now, Quick Revive is really good in games like Cold War as well because it gives you a faster health regeneration, which is pretty freaking good if you ask me. I gotta say that. So I'm going to put Quick Revive here at number 5. Now, coming in at number 4, we have one of the most well-respected perks in zombies of all time, and that has to be Stamin-Up. It is one of the most well-known, well-respected perks ever. If you ask anybody if they like Stamin-Up, they should say yes. This is an amazing perk. It gives you, I believe, a 7% speed increase when you're running, and also gives you a faster sprint time. And on Cold War zombies, it actually gives you an unlimited sprint, I believe, which is freaking insane. And yeah, Stamin-Up has to be one of the best perks, whether you're playing with randoms, you're going for a high round on solo, you're pretty much doing anything besides camping. If you're camping, it's pretty useless, but literally in every other scenario, Stamin-Up does nothing but help you. Especially on maps where you do a lot of running around like Origins. I'm telling you, man, Stamin-Up should have been on Mob of the Dead, but it wasn't on Mob of the Dead, which sucked so bad. But yes, Stamin-Up is one of the best perks of all time, coming in at number 4. And coming in at number 3, we have Double Tap 2, a much better upgrade from Double Tap 1, if I do say so myself. It gives you double damage, plus the faster fire rate. What can you not love about Double Tap 2? It has to be one of the most overpowered perks ever added to zombies ever. It completely changed the game forever. Okay, literally, this perk changed zombies. It made guns usable past round like 20. Okay, such a good perk, I have to say. It did come out in Black Ops 2, which is very unfortunate because you have to use really bad guns in World at War and Black Ops 1 without Double Tap. But in this game, you know, it's pretty freaking good. Black Ops 3 has it as well. Now, the only sad thing about Double Tap 2 is the fact that it wasn't in Black Ops 4 and it's not in Cold War Zombies, which is so lame. Like, seriously, this perk was only in 2 games, Black Ops 2 and 3, which, granted, are probably the best games, but come on, like, really? You couldn't have added Double Tap 2 in those games either? I don't know, I just think it's really annoying. And, yeah, man, Double Tap 2 is overpowered. We're going to put it in here at the number 3 spot. And coming in at number 2, we have the gem of Black Ops 3's perks, which is Widow's Wine. The only perk added in Black Ops 3, as a matter of fact. And it was added in Shadows of Evil, the best map it could have been added in. This perk is awesome, okay? It is not the best perk ever, but it is definitely the second best perk ever. It's another perk where if you get hit, it affects you, okay? It's a get hit perk. That's what I have to call this thing. It's a good perk. It's not number 1, and I'll get to why it's not number 1 here in a second, but I will say the price point of Widow's Wine being at 4,000 points is a bit much. That's one bad thing about this perk. And also, this perk doesn't have an unlimited usage. You only have 4 uses of it per round if you don't get the Widow's Wine grenades from the zombies. So, if the meatballs on Shadows hit you a whole bunch and you lose all your Widow's Wine, then guess what? You don't have Widow's Wine anymore until the next round begins. And then again, you only get 2 Widow's Wine grenades per round. So, that is the only problem with Widow's Wine, I would say. That's the biggest issue that it has. But other than that, if you can consistently kill the webbed zombies, this perk has to be one of the best of all time. And coming in at number 1, we have Jug. We all know it's Jugger-Nog. There's nothing that's going to ever beat this, probably. Widow's Wine tried to beat it out, but it couldn't do it. Jug is the best perk in zombies of all time. We all know it is. You know it is. And if you didn't know it, then you know now. Thank you all so much for watching this video, everyone. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and a subscription, as I did work hard on this video. And yeah, if you guys want to see more, let me know in the comments below. And I will see you all in the next one.